It's like really healthy people. It's like, what do their weekends look like? Do they just sit there and lift weights like for 5 hours? Do they just meditate the whole time? Do they just drink green drinks? Like, just sit there and read the whole time? All that stuff just sounds boring to me.
You're alone again. I shouldn't be thinking of you, thinking of me. I know.
Hello, everyone. This is Mike, and this is the Daily Bread, Weekly Bread podcast where I talk about things and you listen. Today is going to be it's the last podcast episode of 2020, and then the next week will be 2021, so it's like a week difference. But I was going to talk about how I'm choosing to do Dry January next month, and basically just because I just need some kind of reset. I think like usually around this time every year, I think I talked about this in the last episode, I always have this kind of like epiphany of, all right, let me structure next year my brain, or gets excited about starting a new year and having goals, which I think is great. And then it depends on how well you structure that to carry you into the new year, like if you're really going to do it. And there's a podcast I listen to, which I mentioned a few times, this guy Noah Kagan, and every year, so I don't think he's doing it this year, but he typically has kind of like what his goals are for the year. And this guy makes a couple $1 million a year, or $10 million a year, or something like that. So his ability to spend money on experiences is a lot more than my bank account. And over this summer, he spent like 30 grand a month with his buddy to live at a beach house off the Pacific Coast Highway in California, whatever that beach town, I think it's Santa Monica. And so that's something that I just can't do, like currently. And so his goals are a little bit different than mine, but it's good to have some kind of goal. So I thought, like, well, what's kind of something that I can do to reset? And I've just been feeling super unmotivated lately, and just like feeling like crap. And the routine that I'm doing, it's like as I'm doing it, I'm just kind of going out around the town and sitting there. And like if you follow the Instagram, you see that I'll be drawing a lot, which is like super fun. It helps me come up with new ideas for the comic, and recently I've been drawing like 4 circles, and then I'll just literally just draw them on a piece of paper and just think for a second and just create some random shit from top to bottom of my character, like just doing things. And it's fun because it just makes me laugh, and it's totally mindless, and it gets my brain off of Instagram until I take a picture and I post it to Instagram. Then I'm back on Instagram. So my brain is just like constantly going so fast. So I think like one of the reasons of doing Dry January is to reset. And then I bought a bunch of these probiotics from this company called Better, BETR. You should check it out. Did the program a couple years ago because I was going to do marketing for them. And these like natural probiotics that are part of it, you can now just buy them on your own. It's like $79 for 30 days worth. And I figured like by taking them and not drinking might help my help the brain fog that I have, or the motivation that doesn't exist currently. And so I definitely feel like I've got leaky gut based on the poor decisions I've been making about eating and drinking. I just feel like a fucking mess. Even today's Monday, and I always feel like crap on Monday from the weekends because I just go stupidly hard, and then Monday it all just kind of just slams into you, and you got to be responsible. So the whole day is just like a mind fuck. And today I was just completely worthless. Like I got up and I finished a project, thank God. But it was really easy and it didn't take me that long. And then I just went and got coffee and just drove around and just basically tried to avoid responsibility like as much as possible. And it just kind of bothers me because I am my own income. So whatever decisions I make or the energy I put into this is the thing that's going to create my income. Like this is where my money comes from doing animation full time. And it's not really good when you're not motivated, because if you're not motivated, then you don't take any steps to grow and to grow your business or just finish projects or do something creative. You can probably even hear my voice like right now. Like I have basically, it's when I started doing this, it was 3:30, and I'm gonna head out the door like 4:15 and go to the gym, because that's the thing that's gonna at least kick my ass back into gear today. And like I'm just sitting in this void of space, this like time between now and then, just going like I don't want to do anything, but I don't want to even just live in the moment and try to make something creative. So that's why I put the headset on and started talking and recording this, because at least I'm getting something done, which is good. Because I've done nothing all day. So I'm kind of excited for this week, for Thursday, I guess it is. Let me see. Today is the 29th, 28th. Yeah, so Friday morning, that'll start off my getting healthy for the month. And so in my mind, I'm excited. I feel like I'm committed to it. And then usually about a week in, you start feeling the effects physically and you feel great. And then it comes down to going out, and you're like, I don't really want to go out because everyone's going to be drinking and I'm not going to be drinking. And then you kind of question, well, does me going out with friends like mean that I have to be drinking to have a conversation? Or can I just hang out and drink seltzers or water or something that's non-alcoholic and be in the moment and present and not feel anxiety or uncomfortable, or just kind of feel like you're plugging into the moment like you do when you have alcohol? So that's usually the biggest struggle. And I was talking to my buddy about this today, of like setting goals and attaching some kind of emotion to it or excitement to it. Because if you have a goal, it's going to keep you from doing stupid things. But you also have to have a strong emotional attachment to that goal, or it's just not going to matter. He was like, if you wanted to really get to a good weight, he's like, you should just, if you got to a 190, you can just live in that space and just kind of make good and bad decisions. It'll keep you around there. I was like, yeah, but then I got to make the effort to get there, and there's really nothing that's a driving force to me to be like, oh, that number means something to me. So I think it'll be interesting to hear what next week's next week's episode sounds like, because by that point I'll be, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll be like 5 days in, and I'm sure I'll feel like way better, especially since Saturday and Sunday I'm not gonna go out and just pummel my fucking liver with bourbon and beer, and then like wake up feeling like shit and just do it again, and then wake up on Monday and just be like, ugh. Like, at least be that, plus hopefully taking these probiotics, I'll be in a different mindset. So it'll be fascinating to hear this episode and next week's just side by side, or just, finishing one and listening to the other one, or going back and listening to this one after you hear that one, if you do so. Yeah, but I'm just trying to think of this year, because this next year coming up, because current year, because I live in like a digital space, that was very beneficial, because I make videos or anime videos, so I could just do them on my laptop. I didn't have to go anywhere, and had a really good year because of that. And then going into this year with everything happening, and like a vaccine coming out, or it's already been distributed, and like hopefully it'll just kind of start pushing things in a better direction. But like, seems when the economy's doing good is when I get fucked, but when the economy's doing shit is like when I start to thrive. But just thinking about next year, it's like, what are the goals? So one goal is that with my animation company, I want to start just putting out one YouTube video a week of a tutorial, just something that I can do with it, After Effects or animating, or just giving myself, kind of like with the comic, like I force myself every day to get up and draw something. I've been doing it for over 3 years. Some days I don't want to do it. Like, I wake up, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say. And then I just force myself to create something. And So it's like because of that, like I like the fact that I gave myself just that small goal. So this whole doing a tutorial once a week, it's really one so I can just feel like I'm accomplishing something, and is also going to keep me consistent with something, and being creative helps me. And at the same time, if I do it well enough and the channel does well, that means it's going to grow. And if I get to over 1,000 subscribers, that means I can monetize it, which would be cool for extra income. So that's always a goal, you know, the passive income dream. So there's that. And then I just got my couples checklist book, the finalized copy. So I ordered about 10 of them to come to me, and I want to start selling them. So my goal, which I think I talked about last week, was that I want to sell 10,000 copies this year, and I have no idea how to do it. And that's like another stressful thing. Like today, my brain is just going all over the place because I'll sit there and be like, okay, I can do something to promote my animation company, or I could work on just creating something for the comic, or like I could do all these things, and then I have analysis paralysis, and I just stop because I attach it to, well, no one is asking for this, so there's no deadline, or I also physically feel like shit, so I'm not motivated to do any of this. But it's hard when you create things because it's like it depends on how you attach it. If like, what's the outcome? Like, do you want to just get the feeling of accomplishment by creating something? Because that's success. But then to keep doing things, you think about, well, I got to make money off of this, and that's going to be the money. That's going to be the deciding factor of what's my next decision, or what am I going to put my effort towards. And then when you think of that, you start creating, okay, well, this is the thing that potentially could lead to making money. But then you talk yourself out of it because you're like, no one fucking wants this. You just talk down about it, and the little voice kicks in. And then you're like, well, fuck, now I'm just going to not do anything because that makes more sense for some reason than doing something. Like, it's a vicious cycle. So, yeah, I just think that I sound just bummed today just because of feeling like crap. And, but I am going to feel, I know that in about an hour from now, I'm guaranteed to feel good because I'll be about 20 minutes into working out. And I'll automatically start feeling great minutes in because we'll start warming up. The blood will start moving and the heart's pumping, and that's just automatically going to help me. And then that'll help me for like the rest of the night. And, yeah. So, dry January. How am I going to get through this? I don't know. And it just forces you to figure out new activities. Because I know on Saturday, I'm like, well, it's Saturday night. I like to go out around town, and I go sit at a bar by myself and at a restaurant, and sit there and draw things or entertain myself. And then I do the same thing on Sunday. But now that I'm taking that out of the equation, it's like, well, what do I do instead? Do I start playing Xbox again and just stay inside and kind of just relax? Or do I go and find some new place to check out, like a coffee shop? It's like when I even start talking about that stuff, I'm like, it sounds boring. Like, I don't know what people fucking do for activities. I know there's about 1 billion things you can do. But it's like really healthy people. It's like, what do their weekends look like? Do they just sit there and lift weights like for 5 hours? Do they just meditate the whole time? Do they just drink green drinks? Like, just sit there and read the whole time? All that stuff just sounds boring to me. It doesn't sound very fulfilling. But then they can hear what I'm doing, and they can be like, yeah, that does not sound fun to me at all. So again, it's just like, where does your mind attach its happiness to, and the outcome? Or maybe they're just very goal driven, and they're just more excited about the goal, and they're not excited about that they limit themselves to other things, unhealthy things that they can do. But the reward is, well, if I do all that, then this thing that's my goal of maybe I'm competing in something, or I just like taking my shirt off all the time, or I find out that I have a lot of, I can maybe be able to hook up with a lot more people because of the way I look. Like, maybe that's their goal, and that works for them. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, years ago when I quit drinking for about 5 months, almost 5 months, I definitely just lost so much weight, and I was just doing strength training, and uh, I saw like a video recently because I have them like way down on my Instagram. I was doing squats and strict press, a thing called strong lifts, and I got super in shape. Like my cardio is shit, but I just burned all the fat off because I wasn't drinking. I was down to like 185, I think, which is gnarly. That's so much lighter than I am now. And but I was just so depressed at that time because I was traveling the country and I was so mad about getting divorced and everything. And so I didn't get to feel that excitement of being sober that whole time and being healthier because just mentally I was just in a shit place. So physically I felt like crap. So I was always tired. I never got a chance to really feel the results of being healthy. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this January it'll feel a little different because last year I was really stressed out with my dog having seizures and I was broke as shit. And then so I couldn't really just I was in a bad mental place then, but I don't know, but maybe this is the year that January feels kick ass, and I'm going to talk about it the whole time when I do these episodes, so that'll be interesting. It'll be really funny because I feel like every month just goes by so fucking fast in general that it'll feel in the beginning that it's taking forever, but then I'll like blink my eye and I'll be on week 4, be like, oh shit, and then I'll have to make a decision of like, all right, well, now I'm gonna just jump back into my old lifestyle, or maybe I'll have this epiphany and I'll change my thinking. Maybe. Maybe I'll drink less. Maybe I'll eat healthier, like more healthier. Who knows? Who knows what this January is going to bring? But so I'm going to leave it on that note, and we will see how this turns out, and I'll be talking about it along the way. And if you are looking to do something for January, maybe you should try this as well. Maybe this will be your thing to do. But I just got to find out your why, the thing that's going to keep you going with it. So, yeah, but give my Instagram a follow if you're not. It's Your Daily Bread, BRED, and keep an eye out for this couples checklist book. I'm going to start launching, I'm going to start launching promotions for it and start amping it up, and then start selling it. I mean, technically I could start selling it right now, but I have it like all loaded up to print on demand. But I don't want to just be like, hey, this book's out, here's a link. Like, I want to find ways to promote it, which I'm good at creating things. I'm just not good at strategy and all that other shit that leads into what technically you should do to promote things or sell them. So hopefully I'll figure that out. But yeah, so go and start planning your goals for 5 days from now, the brand new year, the new year. Okay, goodbye.